The wash is looking a little bit better now. I was here last week and there wasn't quite as many stones showing through. As you can see, we're starting to get bolts. Some older brass ones, some nuts and screws. Yep, I didn't miss that pocket knife sitting right there. That's going to be a fun thing to clean up because it's actually in pretty good shape. See what else is hanging along this strip. Well, I know this bottle isn't old, but it's just a really cool spot that it's hanging in. Look at that in the clear water, just hanging out at the side. It means it's been dumped in here. I've checked these holes a gazillion times. It hasn't been, it's not buried and coming up, but why not just show you the cool, I might even say it's a catch-up. Oh, it is, look at that. Well, no. That's not super new. That might just be a cool enough bottle to keep. Huh, it's a twist off. I don't really recognize this style of ketchup. Ah, look at the market left. That's cool. Well, I'm gonna take it. I decided I don't want it. Put it in recycling, but I actually like the angles of that. Is it octagon? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's 10. What's 10? Pentagon? Octagon? Tetragon? I don't even remember. Well, fishermen are always going to lose something on this structure. I don't think this is a terrible loss, but it's a decent enough size for stuck in there with a monster hook. See, buried in there. That was never coming out. They're laughing at me. What do you think this is? It's a strange ball. It's not completely symmetrical, and I'm not really sure what it's made of. All right, we're heading to track practice, but what are we doing first?
Going to garage sales.
Why? What's this weekend?
I forget the name of it.
It's the Middletown Town Garage Sale weekend.
Garage sale.
Yeah. This is like... Well, phase 1 of the town garage sale was kind of a bust. I spent $5 on a really awesome fishing lure. It's probably worth about 50 cents. And another place, they had a donation box, so I dropped $20 in that and bought nothing. Can't be angry about that, that's for sure. But I did just find a quarter in the parking lot, so things are actually turning up. All right, just got a great signal out of, where'd my hook go? Somewhere around here. Oh, it was behind me. Oh, that hole. I just threw the spoils out over here, and I do see something wonderful in the scoop. Do you see it? Generally, when it's that color, it's screaming silver. Let's see if I can pluck it out of there. Oh, look at you. How long have you been out here? Mr. Butterfly? Or Mrs. Butterfly? Nice piece. I had to clean it off for you very quickly. How cool is that?
Out on the dry because it really looked like a storm dragged out the sand. We had a mid signal. The color looks brassish, so I don't know if that's a gold or not, but It is a ring with a pretty design on it, so you will see a little shine coming through, but not that dark purple color. Might be a singlet, but I don't know if it's gold.
All right, I just discovered a nice little older wash line. You can see where all these stones have been surfaced from the wash, and you can see that little bit of tan dirt that comes through. That's really old sand. I got an old key there, an old piece of brass there, and then right in the same line, running parallel to the shore, I got my first V nickel. And it looks like it's in the 1800s, even though it's beat up. But I'm gonna have to hit this area pretty hard. I had to dub over Paul's recording. There was just too much wind in the background. But I believe what he just picked up is a nice old Swiss Army knife. And I believe in the photo I'm about to show, you can make out the name brand or the company that sold these. And that is also how you know you have a really nice old area. Look at that old beach tack. The numbers are awesome. Look how the 9 is smaller than the 2. They're offset a little bit. That was punched out. And that is right where it was found. See how it dropped a layer? Bam. Okay, so Paul's got this very cool looking bracelet. I'm pretty sure it's brass or copper, but it's a great find. Well, I did my duty, and I texted him that I got a good spot over here. There he is. But he just texted back, he's got a good spot there. But I just picked up what I thought was just an old penny, maybe an Indian head. But a good, nice round circle there means it was put there for a reason. Now, typically, the copper coins weren't holed. But when I turn this over, if you can see that, there are some really, really beautiful initials in there. So this might be some kind of token, maybe a love token made out of a coin. I just don't know what kind of coin it is. It's super thin. That is an incredible piece of history.
This is either a washer, could be a washer, or it's one of those Japanese Chinese coins, the ones with they always have a square in the middle of them, but more or less not getting any writing on it. So, yep, it's one of those Chinese coins, or Japanese, Asian, let's call it. I think that's gonna clean up decent. I'll have to check it out. See how much cleaning I can do with that. You can see when I wipe it, you start to get some of the lettering out of there. All right.
Always another good sign. Right off the parasol, the old umbrellas that he used to bring to the beach. Very common in older sections of sand. Now that's pretty cool. Little old lead wagon wheel. And I think someone just found one of these last week. I'm gonna say it might have been Jersey history hunters. I don't really remember. How cool is that? This is really how you know you're in a good wash. Look at this type of sand that's being surfaced up. And then we got a whole layer of stones here that could potentially trap stuff. Look at that sitting right there. Nice old spoon. It's got some history to it. So we're gonna again hit this section hard. All right, in phase 2, I've been again working the outside edge of this. This looks like maybe something interesting coming out, but I got the rim of either a washer or a quarter. So I'm going to gently try to get that out of here. And I think that might be a spark plug sticking right out there. Well, we got it a little bit looser, and the extraction, it's just so hard to tell what these coins are, if it even is a coin. Rats. It's just a washer. Brass, but a washer. A couple mother pieces, aka nucleus, which really isn't the nucleus because I don't know what's in the center of this thing. These are just sidebar pieces. A big pipe here ready to come out. There's a big nail here. Oh, hi, buddy. We brought out some more chain link, some bolts, some washers. Nothing worth writing home about yet. We got a couple more pieces in here, but I'm gonna get a little more aggressive, see what's more towards the center of this thing. I'm hoping it's just not massive amounts of bolts. But as of right now on the outside, that's all we're really seeing. All right, so I'm gonna see how this pipe comes out. It's just about ready to come out. I take a little bit from the sides out, and hopefully you might be able to see something uncovered underneath it. But I think it's almost ready to come out. Did I say almost ready?
Yep.
There it comes.
Yep.
Ta-da! Alright. One big pipe responsible for some of this concretion. And as of right now, other than another washer, I don't see anything underneath. There's the start of a spark plug here. There's a big piece here. But this is going to help me get a little bit deeper. Okay. I managed to start to loosen this mega piece right here. And it may have showed up another coin underneath. Now that's premature in saying because it's just the edge of it, but I see a little copper showing through. If you can see that, it definitely is round. Could be a washer. We'll see. Well, it wasn't a coin, it's just a strip of copper wire, which I believe this might be the other end of it coming out over here. There's a couple other interesting pieces. I'd like to see there's actually fishing line popping out. So it's probably attached to some more lead fishing weights inside there, which is a good sign because I generally like what collects with lead. I'm not sure why, but gold tends to collect with lead. It's a little secret. Just saw this piece laying on the floor, which chipped off. I didn't even realize it. You gotta look at these pieces close, although it looks like a thin washer, it might be something. But I also banged out what looks like a battery terminal here. I haven't seen one of those yet. It's interesting how these things get stuck in here. That's a cool shot of a big piece that broke off. Look at the bolts and screws in there, the shells, all kinds of stuff. That one drive bit, something shiny coming out, but that's again, looks like a washer. There's a lot more to search yet. It's a chunk of brass, 2 holes cut into it. We do like seeing zipper pulls. It's almost like a sign of life inside this thing with all the bolts and screws. Well, I haven't been getting much of anything besides all the bolts and screws and hardware, and now a few added spark plugs. But one single tap and enough of the concretion quickly dispersed and a little coin popped out. Now, if we're staying consistent, I'm going to guess there's Lincoln. I'm going to guess this is still a memorial. Yep. So we haven't dipped down old enough to get into, it looks like either 1970, 1970. I mean, that's old enough. It's 52 years. But I haven't gotten much older than that yet. Well, I'm not saying this screw is that old, but it has a little anchor on it. How cool is that? That's a big old padlock that just came out. Yep, and right underneath that padlock is another coin. So the coins aren't done in this thing yet, which is a great sign. I'm thinking this is another nickel. So far we've pulled out pennies and nickels out of here. I'm going to slowly chip away at that one and pull that out. And consistent with the penny I just pulled out, 1970. 52 years old. So we are starting to date this clump right around the 70s, possibly an average.
I waited to look at Maddie. Maddie's doing like this.